We have to learn to control what we can control. We have to learn. Otherwise, we're going to drive ourselves crazy trying to put too many hands in too many baskets. And then we're going to get distraught because we feel like we're doing everything we can. We feel like we're doing everything, but things are not turning out the way we expect it to. But we got to understand, only thing we control in the equation of life is the input. When we control the input, we control what we want to do with our lives, and we control why we want to do that particular thing. So for me, for an example, I'm an entrepreneur. I want to be an entrepreneurship. And why I want to be an entrepreneur is to basically buy back time and have time freedom, financial freedom to enjoy life how it's meant to be enjoyed, to experience heaven in this physical reality and not wait for heaven after I die, and my family as well. But what I can't control is when and how my business, the money, or whatever is going to materialize into my reality. For me, I can say, oh, my business is going to blow up in 5 months from now because I know the work I'm going to put in. But there's so many variables and things I can't see that's going to interact with my day-to-day and my process. And if I think I control everything, if I'm too stuck on a certain time frame, then that's going to deter me and make me believe that nothing I do is working, that I really don't have the control that I say I do. And then as men, we have to work. We have to do work. We understand as men, even though we all are kind of like the Bible says, many are called, few are chosen. And I also see that in life, how everybody is born, and yes, we all are technically special because we all contain God with us. We all basically was one out of the millions of people who could have been born in this reality. But at the same time, especially as men, you have to make yourself special. The world ain't just going to give you things because you're just a man. No, you have to contribute to the world. You have to build something, create things, make an impact while you're here that influences people. And that's how you build your value as a man. That's how you show the world that you're special. So we're used to just doing more and feel like, oh, we have to work, we have to do more to achieve certain things. But a lot of the times, if we don't have what we want, it's because we need to do less. And I know that may be hard for some of y'all to hear, because I know sometimes it's hard for me to hear. I'm someone to where I can do everything right for my day. I can do business tasks. I can learn another language. I can read my book, at least 10 pages, and know that that's all the things I need to do in a day. But I'm still going to feel a little guilty with the leftover time that I do have. Like, damn, I could add more to it. I could be doing something else. But sometimes it's best to just stay still. And me, I'm real observant, and I see a lot of people's stories and a lot of people's success stories, whether celebrities, whether people I just know, just regular people who I know. One thing that I see as a commonality is when they get the desires that they said they wanted, when things manifest or materialize into their physical world, it usually happens when one, they least expect it, or two, they don't need it anymore to fulfill them. That's when usually things happen. Because if you have something, you don't need it. The only time you get something that you want and you really feel, oh my gosh, excited and elated about it is the first time you get it. Let's say if you buy a new car. If you buy a new car for the first day, yes, you're going to be very excited. You're going to be happy with all the accomplishments and how far you came. But after a few months, 6 months, that feeling isn't going to be as the same. It's not going to be as strong. You still have the car because you know it's yours. You know, oh, I already have it. It's not something that I'm chasing. It's not something that's like out of my vernacular right now. So we have to learn when we're not getting the things we want, instead of constantly trying to do more, override the process, sometimes we just got to do less and let God and the universe work. Because like I stated before, we don't control the output. We only control what we do. And a lot of the times we get frustrated and we try to control every variable in the game of life. And it's impossible. Maybe if we lived in this earth by ourselves, there's just one of us at a time to get to experience this one life, then we can control literally everything. But the fact that we share this world with billions of other people, their variables, their personalities, their interactions with us on a regular basis are going to affect positively or negatively the end result, the output of our process. So it's easy to say, okay, my business is going to blow up 5 months from now. And it's great to have that goal because you want to plan and you want to have a direction you're going in. But you got to understand also life is a game of adaptation. That's why they say we plan, God laughs, because when we think of plans, when we think of our goals, we seeing it like how we see it on day one, straight line. Okay, if I just do this task every day with no bills hitting this day, no interactions with my girlfriend, my wife, my kids, no responsibilities, no emergencies that happen out of nowhere, then I'll be there. But in life, things and other variables happen that we can't control because we share this life with other people, other things. So we gotta understand, sometimes it's good to chill and just do less and let God work. Because you can't say you trust God, you can't say you trust the universe, the higher source, whatever you believe in, but you're trying to do his job. You're trying to determine when things are gonna happen. You're trying to determine what you want to do and when it's gonna materialize. No, that's not your job. And you thinking that's your job is just gonna drive you crazy. And you know what actually else is gonna do? It's gonna make you even more mad. It's gonna push whatever you want further away from you. What happens when you chase women? They run away from you. What happens when you chase money? You keep on losing it. Bills keep unexpectedly popping up out of nowhere. Same thing with your goals. If you're constantly chasing it, constantly trying to control every part of it, instead of just enjoying the process, worrying about the input, what you can control, and letting the divine energy control the rest, and letting the infinite possibilities happen. That's basically what it is also, too. Us trying to predetermine when things are going to happen and control too much, that takes the fun out of life. If we knew exactly when everything was going to happen, that would be kind of boring. Or we'll be too anxious. Just picture when you know a vacation is happening in 2 months from now. You either can't stop thinking about it, or whatever you experiencing right now in this present moment, the life around you, you're not grateful for it. You're not really present because you're thinking about the future. Same thing with our goals. You're gonna either get anxious waiting for it to happen if you can control every variable of it, or you're not gonna live in the moment and experience what you're supposed to be experiencing right now because you're waiting for that specific thing to come to fulfill you. So in turn, you're doing yourself a disservice and you're not staying present. When you just stay present, you give infinite possibilities for the universe and God to work in your life. What's better? You thinking you should get your $1 million by a check that says $1 million, or you getting your $1 million, $10,000 for however many days in a row until it hits $1 million, or you hitting the lottery randomly, or your grandmother or grandfather just thinking about you randomly and giving you a check for $1 million. That's how it can happen. But you limit yourself. You limit all the things that can happen in our lives just because we try to control too much. So if you don't have what you want, I know a lot of the time, especially as men, we get a satisfaction from working and just living in our purpose and being productive. And 6 times out of 10, the answer probably is do more. But the other 4 is probably we need to do less. Only control the input, control what and why we want to do what we do, make the decision, make the daily habits every day to do that and complete it. And then after that's done, let God worry about the rest. Let God worry about how it's going to make its way to us. Let God worry about how it's going to happen, how it's going to materialize. And when we do that, we clear up so much more mental energy that we can basically put and focus on the next thing we want to do that can impact our lives and help propel us forward.